Roman art has little merit. That is a second-rate rerun of the glorious Greek art which presented it. The changes were reflected in simple things, like hairstyles and dress, and in more complicated things like housing, places of worship, and imperial monuments. Changes in taste can also be seen in portraiture from the idealistic on the left to the realistic on the right, and in the subject matter depicted in household and public decoration, from elaborate mythological scenes to simple decoration motifs. Most likely the original Latin people who settled Rome came from north of the Alps prior to 1000 BC. Sometime before 800 BC, another mass of people, this time from the east, moved into the area north of Rome known as Tuscany. During the 17th century BC, these people moved south into Latin territory and took over the rule of Rome. And by the 6th century BC, the Greeks had begun settling in southern Italy and Sicily. Etruscans took over the rule of Rome during the 17th century BC. But in 509 BC, the Etruscan kings who had been ruling Rome were tossed out by the Latin populace. For the next few centuries, it was the Romans' turn to make conquest, and these they did with great success. 200 years before Christ, they controlled all of Italy and the entire Mediterranean coast in Europe and in part of North Africa. In essence, the Latins were a bourgeois agriculture people. They remained basically unsophisticated, practical, and earthbound, no matter how many different cultures they assimilated during the course of their expansion. Hence, the art form in which they made their most distinctive contribution was architecture, the most utilitarian of arts. The invention of concrete and the use of the arch of monumental skills enabled them to build roads, bridges, and amphitheatres on a scale never before contemplated. The idealized eons of the Greek face on the left contrast dramatically with the careworn Roman face on the right. The old cliché that one cannot image any Greek statue carrying on an intelligent conversation seems all the more true when compared with typical Roman portrait. The Greeks saw the ideal. The Romans preferred the ordinary and the everyday. The Greeks used analogies of man and God to describe historical events. The Romans preferred to see the archer events in complete everyday, factual detail. Here are some Roman soldiers erecting fortress prior to battle, for example. The organization of the Roman Republic government Senate to consist of the most learned or influential people in country is still a model for modern societies. The organization of the Roman Republic government is still a model for modern societies. The loyalty of the well-organized and efficient Roman arms also contribute to the stability of the early republic. The Romans exercised in allowing conquered peoples to maintain their way of life almost completely intact. The Roman was worshipped by superstars. Nature worshipped their concept of family. During the imperial period, after the death of Christ, who is seen here as a gold-shaped, Christianity began to threaten the personality cult that surrounded the empire. From that time on, the Roman leaders tried to control religion and make it a tool of the state. The Romans showed tolerance for foreign religions practice, such as funeral dancing here, and tolerance for foreign ideas in general was a significant virtue of Roman civilization. And in art, the powerful influence of foreignness was never seriously present. The Romans conclusively returned to their acknowledged masters in a field of art and culture, the ancient Greeks.